This was the moment NASCAR usually gets wrong. White flag in the air. The biggest race of the year. The field packed tight at 200 miles per hour. Then chaos. Cars spinning. Smoke everywhere. The leaders charging toward disaster. And everyone watching thought the same thing. Here comes the caution, but it never came. And that decision may have just changed NASCAR forever. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. The 2026 Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway delivered one of the most dramatic finishes we've seen in years. Not just because of the wreck, but because NASCAR did something we're not used to seeing. They let them race. And somehow, it worked perfectly. Let's break down what happened and why this decision matters way more than people realize. Coming to the white flag, Carson Hocevar was leading the Daytona 500. Huge moment for him. Huge moment for Spire Motorsports. Right behind him, a pack of hungry veterans waiting for one mistake. And that mistake came fast. Hocevar got turned by Erik Jones just past the white flag. The car snapped sideways in front of the entire field. Michael McDowell, his own teammate, got collected. Cars scattered everywhere. Smoke filled the track. This is usually where the yellow lights flash. This is usually where the race ends in confusion. But this time, silence. No caution. The leaders kept their foot in it. Through the smoke, through the spinning cars, all the way to the checkered flag. And Tyler Reddick emerged as the Daytona 500 champion. Not because of timing lines, not because of frozen field, but because he raced to the stripe. If you've watched NASCAR long enough, you know the pattern. Final lap wreck, caution, field frozen, fans frustrated. We saw it before in a Daytona dual race last season when a yellow flew just feet from the finish line and cost Erik Jones a potential victory. That moment caused outrage. Fans were tired of finishes being decided by timing loops instead of racing. So NASCAR adjusted. They experimented with letting races stay green in similar situations. Then came backlash again when chaos unfolded in Atlanta. So NASCAR said they'd lean toward caution. And yet, here we are, back to racing to the line. And guess what? Nobody's mad. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, safety. Because that's always the argument. Was it dangerous? Sure, it's Daytona. It's always dangerous. But here's what mattered. No car was flipped. No driver took a catastrophic hit. No stalled car was blocking the leader's direct path. There was time to slow down. There was space to react. And everyone walked away. If NASCAR had thrown the caution in that moment, fans would have exploded. Instead, they trusted the drivers. They trusted the moment. And it paid off. Think about how different this conversation would be right now. If the yellow flies, we're debating who should have one. We're arguing about timing lines. We're saying that was robbed. Instead, we're talking about one of the most exciting Daytona 500 finishes in recent memory. That's the difference. Racing back to the line creates legends. And the Daytona 500 should never end in anticlimax. Here's the real question. Is this the new standard? Because NASCAR has a history of inconsistency when it comes to these calls. Fans don't want randomness. Drivers don't want unpredictability from race control. What they want is clarity. If the rule is, unless it's clearly unsafe, we race to the line, then stick to it. Because moments like this are why people tune in. Superspeedway racing is controlled chaos. At 200 miles per hour, in a 40-car draft, something is always seconds away from going wrong. If the sport becomes so cautious that it eliminates the natural ending of races, you take away what makes it special. Wrecks will happen. That's part of it. But stopping the race every time something happens on the final lap, that kills the drama. Sunday proved something important. You can prioritize safety and still let them race. The 2026 Daytona 500 didn't just crown Tyler Reddick as a winner. It restored something fans have been asking for. A real finish. A race decided at the checkered flag, not in the control tower. So credit where it's due. NASCAR made the right call. Now let's see if they have the consistency to stick with it. What do you think? Should NASCAR always let them race back to the line on the final lap unless it's clearly dangerous? Or should race control play it safe every time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.